it's been my experience. I mean, you need to know who's racing, obviously, and their form throughout the year. But you're best served just racing your own race. I mean, there is a race going on, and there's a race dynamic. And you need to pay attention to that. But I mean, I've been out here 10 days now. It feels a lot hotter and more humid. That's what the locals are saying. They've had a hotter summer. I know the water temperature's a lot hotter than it's been.
Speaking of Barney, he's one of your athletes that you've been coaching, and he had a cracker of a Melbourne Ironman where he got second and narrowly missed out on the win there. Have you, obviously you just mentioned as well, he's on the radar for this weekend. Is he someone that maybe you've just been throwing in a few extra harder sessions to take the edge off him, so you got the advantage over him? Like,
yeah, well, he'll be riding 6 hours every second day leading up to the race, so we won't need to worry about him. No.
Do you need to factor in his chest here as well? Only really Jesse Thomas can rival him in terms of having a rug on his chest.
I don't think Jesse can even rival Barney. I think Barney's rug is second to none.
Yeah.
In fact, my daughter said to him this morning, it was disgusting. It was poking out the top of his t-shirt, and she wants him to shave it off. So
Barney's going to be in the mix in the race right from the get-go as well. He's a good swimmer, and would something like any sort of tactics or any sort of communication between the both of you go on during the race?
No, you know, I think in races like this, partnerships of convenience can form during the race, but I mean, it's an individual race. I don't believe in coordinating things before the race. I know it's been done in the past, it's been well documented, but personally I don't think that's really in the spirit. It's an individual race. Now, that being said, sometimes in a race you find yourself in a situation where you're off the front or you're chasing and you're with some guys, and it's in everyone's mutual interest to work together. And a lot of the times, you know, the guys you're racing are very experienced. Nothing needs to be spoken. Everybody knows where the race is and where the balance of power is, and do we all need to share the load here to get up there, or we're off the front now, do we need to, you know, press that advantage? So that happens. That's racing. That happens. I mean, I've given Barney as much, I guess, background information to this race as I have. Any questions he's had, I've answered. Once the gun goes off, though, you know, we're competitors
for sure.
And you know, I'm certainly, there'll be no, I mean, there might be, you communicate with other athletes out there all the time, so yeah, there might be some of that, I don't know, but we're certainly not planning to get together on the bike, or, I mean, Barney might have to do backstroke for us to come out of the water together, so I don't know if we'll be together on the bike at the start. But
so speaking of the bike, when there's a massive long line of you now, and since the field's so deep, there's a lot more guys coming out of the swim together with the wave of ITU guys moving up. What is there much talking going on between you? Like, for example, someone cuts in, or, you know, someone comes past you. Are you guys saying much to each other?
There's a little bit of talk, and you know, my first year racing out here was 07, and then obviously 08 was an Olympic year, and then in 2009 we saw Andreas Raylert and Rasmus Henning and Dirk Bockel. And I think every post-Olympic year you get the influx, and it certainly adds to the race. It brings a lot more talent in, and obviously the ITU boys can all swim. There's not a bad swimmer amongst them, so yeah, I mean, I think last year the group was 26 or 27, which, you know, in my opinion, the rules need to be changed for the start of the bike to take that into consideration. The draft zone needs to be extended, because it just becomes a joke in the beginning. And if we're fair income about having an honest and fair race, I think we need to extend the draft rule out to 20 metres. At the moment, the system perpetuates the group staying together because you're not allowed to cut in. I mean, you have to take the whole group, which is too hard to do if there's 26 or 27. I mean, I know last year I got a flat tyre and I didn't lose much time in the change. The easy part was actually catching back up to the group. The hard part was actually getting through the group, because I wanted to get up towards the front of the group. And I just think if we extended the draft zone, it would be easier to, you know, for a stronger bike rider to catch a group and make his way through the group. And that's what should happen. And that's why we hold the races, to see who's strong in what areas. And at the moment at 12 metres they don't let you cut in, but if there's 26 in the group, how do you pass the whole group? You can't. So it perpetuates the group staying together. So there is a bit of talk, to answer your question. There's a little bit of abuse, and I think there's also a lot of mutual respect amongst a lot of the guys who've raced here or raced each other for a long period of time. And if you see someone who you know is a fair athlete and tends to do their own work and they're stuck out, you give them a bit of racing room and let them cut in, because I mean it's a 112-mile time trial. You don't want anyone to be stuck out on the left, having to pass the whole group and having to push 400 watts to get up there. That shouldn't be part of the race.
I always like a bit of banter. I mean, I've been in a race with you where you've given me a spray. I've seen Bevan Doherty give an athlete a spray.
Well, Doherty's the angriest man in triathlon.
Yeah, I think so. We've actually got him next week, so we've got a cracking interview lined up. But I don't know, it's good. I like seeing it's honest as well. It's not sugar-coated, and it is what it is.
Well, it's right, and like I say, I think the guys who've raced, and we've all raced each other a long time, there's rules, but there's also unwritten rules, and people tend to cross the line, and we all do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need your bell rung. Someone has to, and I mean, I give it out, but I cop it a lot too, and that's fair enough.
You said you've cut back your volume a lot, so how many hours do you typically do in a build-up to a race like this on average?
You know what, this year I haven't really counted hours as much. And in the past I never did either. I wrote the training I thought I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I'd always, my little formula was do a 4 or 5 week block. And in the past it would typically work out to 35 to 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
I don't think you can sustain that sort of workload all the time. So if I was to guess hours this year, I'd say I got up to 35 a couple of times, but I wasn't doing those back-to-back weeks. I'd have a big week or two and then a much easier week.
Yeah.
And so I split it up. So instead of compressing a build-up into 8 weeks maybe, I've spread it out a lot more, which is why I didn't race as much either.
For race week, obviously you're a man in demand. Will you spend you're in your taper now, you spend most of your week just putting your feet up as much as possible?
Well, I only do the really big productions like this one. I draw the line in the sand. It's hard because, I think part of your job is to get out there and attend certain media, the press conference and things like that, but you can certainly go overboard, and you need to be careful. It's hot and humid here.
Yeah.
This race is about conserving energy, not just on race day, but the last few days before it as well. Many a great race performance has been left in the expo, and my opinion is I just think you're more value to your sponsors by having a great race or a strong performance than doing a 30-minute signing at the expo.
So there's plenty of people that come from all over the world here, and plenty of people doing it for the first time as well. What would just be one tip for those people?
I think if it's your first time, just enjoy it. Really enjoy it. It's a unique atmosphere, the race week. It's a truly global triathlon community here, being like any world championship, and I always think that we're super lucky to get to race in a place like this. I would say just enjoy the whole atmosphere and the vibe. It's going to build throughout the week, and then also respect the people who live here.
Yeah.
This is a community that we come into usually twice a year because there's a 70.3 here, and as triathletes we get to race in a beautiful place, but I think we need to respect the people who are going about their business of getting to school and to work and going to the shops and all that kind of thing. So be respectful, but have a great time. So all the pros got an email last week sort of talking about and referencing social media content, and also integrating themselves into the races and boosting the profile of pro athletes. And one of those, the ways to do that was to perhaps volunteer. And if you obviously read the email. I didn't actually read the email. I'm not, the last 2 or 3 weeks before races, I'm not great on reading emails, but I mean, I think it makes sense to be more professional. What was the gist of the email?
So the gist of the email was, if basically, for example, if you're going to volunteer at a race and help Ironman out, what sort of position would you, where would you see yourself most usable? Well, I think I'm more of a delegator than a doer, so race director or CEO, that's what I'd volunteer
to be CEO or race director for the week. I think and give directions. I don't take directions too well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so we're a week out from the races next week. You're the course record holder. It's obviously a whole lot hotter. It feels a lot hotter here as well. Is there any sort of prediction on times, that sort of thing?
It's hard. I mean, the weather can change in a week. You know, I think if we get good conditions, there's enough good guys here to push each other to a fast time for sure.
Yeah. And there's a few more ITU boys.
The swim will probably be quicker. No doubt having Andy back swimming and Jan. I mean, unbelievable swimmers, both those guys. Yeah, it depends. It's so condition dependent. You know, I think last year, from memory, the swim stayed together as a big group because we had a current pushing us from memory on the way back in, and so I think it was harder for the good swimmers to exert their dominance on the field. Obviously, if it's a big current pushing you, it tends to stay more together as a group, like the same way a tailwind on the bike promotes the group staying together rather than a head or crosswind where the stronger guys can get away. So I mean, I don't know. It depends on a lot of things, the dynamic within the race. I mean, I thought the conditions last year were the best and the fastest I'd ever seen here, and obviously Rinny broke the women's all-time course record, and I'm pretty sure 6 or 7 of the age group records went. And when so many records go like that, I think that means the conditions were pretty good, but it also means you got to, I guess, to take advantage of that, you got to race it the right way. So it's hard to predict, but yeah, I mean, you could see the record go if you get 2 or 3 guys in great shape really pushing each other deep into the marathon.
Yep, awesome. It's going to be great to watch. So I've actually got to push on a little bit, and Andrew Messick, the CEO of Ironman's, actually employed me as a consultant for his PR work, and I'm actually drafting up a letter for him to reply to Pete Jacobs, so I've got to push on. But
let's push on then.
Good luck for the rest of your week. I hope it's pretty chilled out for you, and you've pretty much got this course dialed in. You've got a great record here, and I hope you have a great race next weekend. Best of mechanical luck to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Cheers. Are you able to just sign a few things?
Yeah.
From, they're not for me. They're just somewhere on there.
On the top or on the side? Or?
On the top's fine. Yeah, that would be great. And just make it out to Cal. And this is
hold it up like that, it's easy to sign. Yeah, there we go.
This is for my sister. In Cupcake tradition, do you want calf or shoulder?
Oh, calf.
Let's go calf. Alright. There you go, you're a cupcake.
I've always wanted a tattoo.
Thanks, mate.